Came to an end last night in a 49-21 loss to the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame in the 7th annual Sheraton Hawaii Bowl. Now, one of the bright spots for Hawaii, St. Louis grad Aaron Bain, fifth-year senior slot back, known as one of the hardest workers on the team, playing in the final game of his Warrior career, won UH MVP honors with 8 catches, 109 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
I didn't even know what was going on when they brought me up there to get the MVP award. So I kind of just was like wandering around to the locker room, and then somebody just snatched me up off the field, and I was like kind of oblivious to what's going on.
Has it all sunk in yet that your Warrior career is over?
Yeah, actually it did. Like right after the game was done, and I started taking off my shoulder pads and like my helmet and stuff, and then that's gonna be like the last time I'm ever gonna be like in that stadium, like playing in front of like 50,000 people. You know what I mean? So I mean, it kind of hurt, but then it's kind of just like closing a chapter in my book, so, and opening up a new one. You know what I mean? So just kind of excited seeing what's next in my book of life. You know what I mean? Off of that, no, I think like next year is gonna be like a great season. I told them like you better come out banging because I want the fans and like I want to be like excited in the stands. You know what I mean? I'm excited to watch my boys play, so I think the fans got really something to look forward to.
Total of 35 seniors wrapped up their Warrior careers last night. UH has now lost back-to-back bowl games for the first time in the school's history. Next big date for Hawaii football fans, letter of intent signing day for high school seniors set for February 4th. Kickoff to the 2009 season now just 251 days away.
This time Notre Dame gets pressure and Alexander goes down and take wide open. Clausen throws the bomb. It's going to be a Notre Dame score. Notre Dame beats Hawaii 49-21. That 9-game bowl losing streak is now just a memory.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Let's talk sports. So while it was all smiles for the Fighting Irish, a not-so-merry ending to season number 1 in the Greg McMackin era in Manoa. It was a year that started with coach and player turnover o'plenty at UH and featured a 1-3 start, the first ever road win over a ranked opponent in Fresno State, and a second-place finish in the WAC, and ended with an even 7-7 record and the second straight lopsided defeat in a bowl game for the Warriors. So was the start of the Mac regime a disappointing step back, or an encouraging run within the climate of a transition year?
I think it is successful. You look at all the things that we had to fight. Losing our head coach, beginning of the season, Coach Mack taking the reins as head coach. All the critics, didn't even believe that we could even come to the bowl game. We started 1-3, and our season was over by the media. We stayed together as a team. We had Coach Mack's back, and he had our back, and I feel that's the best part of the season, just knowing that there's a point where we could have quit, what I'm saying, and we could have went a different direction, but we stayed together.
I have 3 goals: graduate 100% of my players, and we graduated 18 of them in the winter, and the rest of them are going to graduate in the fall. But we're second place in the league. That's not good enough. That's not acceptable. And then we want to go to a bowl game. And we did go to the bowl game. But when you go to a bowl game, you go to win. And that wasn't part of the goal. We reached some pretty neat things this year, so I'm not going to let that ruin the good things that we've done.
Hawaii will lose 35 seniors from this year's squad. They'll open the 09 campaign at home against Central Arkansas September 4th.
The Warriors seem to suffer more from game fatigue than the Fighting Irish. Getting blown out 49-21, it was UH's worst defeat in 4 trips to the Hawaii Bowl game. On paper, the 49-21 final score between the Warriors and the Fighting Irish doesn't even begin to explain just how dominant Notre Dame was in the Sheraton Hawaii Bowl. While the Golden Domers' defense bent at times, it did not break, holding UH to just 1 trip inside the red zone. Hawaii's final score came in garbage time, with the Irish resting most of their starters.
Obviously every game you play is a good learning experience for you, but even saying that, our offensive output tonight was just unacceptable.
I wanted to send off all the seniors, so I feel like I didn't do enough on my own part, to contribute to trying to put enough points on the board.
The Irish scored through the air on the ground, and on special teams with a 96-yard kickoff return. Quarterback Jimmy Clausen racked up a Notre Dame record 401 passing yards and 5 touchdowns, while receiver Golden Tate also put up school bests with 177 yards and 3 scores.
When Jimmy gave me the signal, I just, stuck him inside and, let Jimmy throw it up, and he made some perfect passes, and I didn't even lose track.
Got to give a lot of credit to the offensive line. I got hit maybe one time tonight, and I give those guys a lot of credit. And it's really easy for me to throw the ball to guys like Golden.
They did a heck of a job and showed up today, and they were ready from the start of the game to the end of the game.
Unfortunately for Hawaii, this will be the last image of the 2008 season. Year 1 of the Coach Mack era ends at 7-7, with UH's Hawaii Bowl record falling to 3-2.
It's been a hard-fought season. We were at 1-3 at one point. They fought back to get into a bowl game. So I'm not going to let that ruin the good things that we've done.
To know that for me and for Aaron, we can't take that back. We can't say, okay, this next year. I think that's the part that hurts the most.
So as we look ahead, here's a peek at Hawaii's non-conference schedule and how it's going to look in 09. It includes a trip to the mainland to play Washington State and a visit by Big Ten power Wisconsin in December.
Yeah, it was a tough game, wasn't it?
Tough night to watch, yeah.
Kind of game where anyone who's thrown a football board in their lives is thinking, put me in, coach, I can score a few points.
Well, it was frustrating, but Notre Dame really did come to play. They had the most to play for.
Big time.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mike. Quick look outside.